Hi, this is Ben.
This is Lisa.
This is Adrian.
This is Chris.
This is Clive, the Wood-Fired Oven Chef, and you are listening to the Wood-Fired Oven Podcast with Mark Gostin.
G'day, folks, and thanks for joining me today on the Wood-Fired Oven Podcast here in the middle of Rome in Italy. I like pizza, but if you're a regular listener to the show, you will know that I find making pizza in my wood-fired oven back home somewhat daunting. So on this season of the show, I aim to improve my pizza making by traveling to some amazing pizzerias in Italy and hopefully revisiting a good friend of mine in Adelaide, Australia, who, as you may know, makes some pretty incredible Neapolitan pizza at his place. I also travelled to Pepe and Grane in Chiato, Italy, as well to try some amazing contemporary Neapolitan pizza. Check out that episode if you love cooking pizza in your wood-fired oven. I'm in Rome tonight, wandering through the streets at dusk to track down one of Rome's pizza jewels, Bonci Pizzarium. So come for a walk and a couple of train rides through Rome with me as I chat about Rome and its glorious street food and pizza. Bonci Pizzarium is literally renowned for revolutionizing the pizza scene in Rome. It's famous for its unique style of pizza known as pizza al taglio, or pizza by the slice. This style of pizza is characterized by thick, airy and slightly crispy crust, which results from a long fermentation process. And unlike round Neapolitan pizza, pizza al taglio is baked in large rectangular trays and sold by the weight, allowing us to specify the size and piece we want, which is then cut with scissors. That sounds like something I could try in my wood-fired oven. So it's a bit of a hike from my accommodation near the Colosseum, which is what I'm staring at right now, to Bonci Pizzarium. And that's good actually, as it gives me a bit of time to chat to you on my walk. Modern day Rome is chaotic, especially in summer. This chaos is a captivating blend of history and hurried progress, I think, where ancient monuments stand steadfast amidst the frenetic, you can hear it, pace of Italian city life. The streets buzz with the energy of scooters weaving daringly through the traffic, the engines a constant hum against the backdrop of gorgeous, timeless architecture. And pedestrians navigate these narrow sidewalks too, sometimes spilling onto the roads, mingling with street vendors and tourists, all moving to the rhythm of the city's relentless pulse. The air is filled with a cacophony of sounds, and you can hear it in the background. Car horns blaring in impatience, usually at me, the distant echoes of sirens and the chatter of countless languages as visitors from around the globe converge in this historic metropolis. The scent of freshly brewed espresso wafts from the numerous cafes, mingling with the aroma of traditional Roman dishes being prepared in the kitchens of bustling trattorias. Piazzas are thrumming hubs of activity where lines between past and present definitely blur. Street artists, performers and hawkers vie for attention. Keep an eye out. Each adding their note to the chaotic symphony that is Rome. And on my left-hand side, not 70 yards from me, is the gorgeous Colosseum, bathed in the late afternoon sun. What a glorious, glorious sight to behold, 2,000 years since it was born. And this city's ancient architecture, like the Pantheon that I visited yesterday, the ruins in the Forum, and the imposing Colosseum, whose arena floor I walked on today. Old city walls stand stoically silent, witness to the modern day hustle and bustle that envelops them. What an amazing view that they have of this evolving Roman landscape. Just incredible. The Roman metro buses, the trams, they're all packed with locals and tourists, each navigating the complexities of the city's public transport system. Well, you might want to get yourself a Rome travel card. It certainly makes life easier navigating this amazing city. And all of these people leading to a harmonious disorder as everyone tries to reach their final destination somehow in this great city. This chaos, however, is not without its charm. It's a testament to Rome's vitality, a city that has mastered the art of living amongst the remnants of its past while embracing the rush of the present. The chaotic nature of modern-day Rome is, well, in essence, a beautiful dance of continuity and change, reflecting the indomitable spirit of this eternal city. And hidden in the city, not far from the Vatican actually, is Bonci Pizzarium, serving Roman street food at its best. In the time of Julius Caesar and Cicero, these streets underneath my feet now were bustling with a variety of street foods that catered to the busy lives of the Romans. The Roman diet was diverse, and street food played a significant role in the daily life of the Romans, particularly those who lived in insulae, or apartment buildings, and did not have the means to cook elaborate meals at home. The Thermopylae were the ancient equivalent of fast food outlets serving hot, ready-to-eat food, and they were popular amongst the lower and middle classes. Items served with things like stews, soups, and a form of porridge. So what about other street foods? What did they eat? Bread. Well, the cornerstone of this Roman diet was bread, and it was widely available from street vendors and public bakeries. Different varieties of bread were made, some incorporating ingredients like olives, cheese, and herbs for glorious flavour. Speaking of olives and cheese, simple yet staple food items, often eaten on the go. Fresh fruits like figs, grapes, and dates, as well as nuts, were common snacks. Sausages and salted meats. Well, these were expensive, but they were accessible and could be eaten as street food too. Legumes, beans and lentils were popular and could be brought ready to eat. Honeyed wines and pastries sweetened with honey or fruit were treats for those who could afford them. Someone else who loves their own wood-fired oven in their own backyard and a little Roman history is Michael from Colorado in the USA. Take a listen to Michael while I jump on a couple of trains, and I'll meet you again shortly near Bonci Pizzarium.
Hello, Mark. It's Michael from Colorado. I know you're wandering the streets of Rome tonight, headed for, who would have thunk, the Pizzarium. Well, good luck navigating those streets. As one of my sons asked during one visit, where would the Romans park if there weren't any sidewalks? Hey, let me share some of my wood-fired oven story with you and my fellow listeners. I have a passionate interest in history, and better than reading it, I like to experience it. I am an 18th century reenactor. My character is a French Indian War rifleman. A frontiersman has to eat, so of course cooking is an important part of that experience. That's led me to an interest in American colonial area cooking. Martha Washington's cookbook is a favorite reference guide. My first wood-fired adventure came with an horno I built in New Mexico. Hornos are those beehive-shaped adobe brick ovens you see pictured in the pueblos of American Southwest. I roasted our Thanksgiving turkey and baked empanadas. Yes, there was some charring, but that was part of the charm. I was hooked. I moved away from my horno to Colorado Springs, Colorado. Terribly missed my wood-fired cooking. That inspired me to build another wood-fired oven. It was an 18-month process. I constructed a concrete block base, topped it with an 8-inch thick furnace floor that required 38 80-pound bags of concrete. The oven's a 40-inch Forno Bravo refractory concrete kit. The oven's encased in a natural stone enclosure styled to look like an ancient oven. People tell me it looks like the oven was there before the house. The oven is the centerpiece of our stone-walled terrace patio that we call the piazza. Mark, I hope you'll come visit me here sometime. I think you'll appreciate the setting. The oven sits on the edge of a Gamble oak grove. In the background is the front range of the Rocky Mountains on the slope of Pikes Peak. When I fired up the oven, I cooked for 3 days. Day one is Neapolitan pizzas, And everything I know about pizza has come from your episode with Adrian. Thank you. Morning of day 2, the oven is a perfect temperature for bread. I bake rustic loaves using spent grain from home brewing beer. Mark, you'll have to have a pint with me when you come visit, although I can also accommodate you with that red wine I know you enjoy with your fire. Day 3, I smoke and slow cook barbecue. I think that my Texas-style ribs, smoked in 8 hours of applewood smoke, would be a favorite street food in the days of ancient Rome. And my 3 sons gave me a flambeau for Christmas. I'm excited to experiment with that. The wood-fired oven is a great device, magical for creating a fun and relaxed evening for friends and family. My partner Edie and I host pizza parties where everyone has fun building their own pizza, then baking it themselves. It's a great way for everyone to get involved and fun, not to mention that there might be some friendly competition for the most interesting pizza. We've made cue cards to make suggestions for some less traditional pizzas. White sauce, peaches, and jalapeno peppers, or pesto, ricotta, pine nuts are 2 that I think are especially intriguing, although just the simple mozzarella, prosciutto, and basil is still a favorite. But I'd like to think my first century Roman street food shop would be a favorite for the peach and jalapeno pizza meal to go. The wood-fired oven has made our Thanksgiving meals more interesting too. I make a Pilgrim's pumpkin pie. It utilizes a pumpkin shell as the crust. I'll post an image on the website. It's picturesque as well as being delicious. I had an interesting experience with an artisanal commercial bread baker who used my oven as an experiment for building their own. We baked 20 loaves at a time. I definitely benefited in learning some of the tricks of the bread baking trade. I would have never thought of putting lemon juice in my dough. Mark, I wish I were in the streets of Rome with you. I have had a long interest in ancient Rome. I visited Rome, Naples, Pompeii, particularly fascinated with the discovery of the fast food shops of Pompeii. I'm sure that some of my wood-fired oven cooking would have been familiar to people at that time. By the way, I've listened to your Hadrian's Wall episode over and over again. You created an incredible and haunting image of those Roman soldiers on duty on the wall, and a wonderful image of those soldiers basking in the heat of the bakehouse, thinking of the comforts of home while they waited for their daily ration of bread to bake. Please, please keep making those historical episodes. They're my favorites. Enjoy your visit to the pizzeria. I can't wait to listen to your Roman episodes. To all your listeners and my fellow wood-fired oven fans, I invite you to go to Mark's website, woodfiredoven.cooking, to enjoy the pictures of my oven and creations and perhaps record your own section with Mark. I'd love to hear your wood-fired oven story.
Great to hear from you, Michael, and I know Adrian will be chuffed to hear you learned a lot from his episode. Mate, love to have a beer with you or 2 sometime. That slow-cooked Texas-style ribs on that 8-hour smoke, man, that's my kind of food. Great stuff. Bakers, or pastores in Latin, were crucial in Roman society. They were responsible for producing the bread that was a staple in the Roman diet. The use of wood-fired ovens was a significant advancement in baking technology, allowing for efficient and uniform baking of this bread. And these ovens, often communal or part of a bakery's larger facility, were made from materials just like ours 2,000 years later, like brick or stone that retained heat well. These bakeries were not just places for baking bread though. They were central to this community where people gathered and socialized. The Roman government even regulated the grain supply to ensure bread was affordable for all, highlighting the importance of bakers and their ovens in Roman society. So the street food and the role of bakers with their wood-fired ovens were integral to the diet and culture of Rome during the times of Caesar and Cicero, reflecting the social, economic, and culinary diversity of this glorious ancient city. Well, Sometimes, folks, the plan doesn't quite go as scheduled. We've just gotten off the train after about 25 minutes, and it gave me an opportunity to verify the recording quality while traveling back. And unfortunately, everything from the train station through the eating experience, through the experience of the restaurant, for some reason didn't record. So, unfortunately, there's no time for us to go back to the restaurant on this trip to Rome. However, we've got about 20 or so minutes of walking to get back to our apartment, so we're going to do a take two and describe the experience for you. Bonci Pizzarium is nestled in Trionfale, which is a neighbourhood of Rome. It's slightly off the traditional tourist track and offers absolutely an authentic slice of Roman life. The area is close to the Vatican City, actually. It's positioning it as an intriguing spot if you're looking to explore Rome beyond its famous landmarks. Trionfale is known for its residential ambience, blending traditional Roman culture with the dynamicism of everyday life, making it an ideal backdrop for the pioneering spirit of Bonci Pizzarium. Now, Bonci, founded by Gabriele Bonci in 2003, revolutionized pizza with his unique pan pizza at the Pizzarium in Rome. And Gabriele, born in 77, is passionate about cooking from a very young age. Embarked on his culinary journey after hotel management studies, interestingly, eventually opening the Pizzarium to widespread acclaim. And this success led to the opening of the Bonci Bakery in 2012 and the expansion into the United States in locations like Chicago and Miami by 2017. He's done well, and Bonci is renowned for its commitment to quality and innovation in this pizza domain. So coming out of the train station, thankfully, the journey to the pizzeria is literally about 100 meters. So if you're traveling from Rome, you head to Roma Termini, and there it's about a 20-minute train ride out to this neighborhood. You turn the corner, and there in front of you is the Pizzarium. It's a relatively nondescript building. 2 large panels of glass with doors invite you inside to a massive array of pizzas by the slice. When we turned up, luckily for us, there was nobody there. So we had the place to ourselves. The staff were wonderful, super friendly, and took the time to describe the various toppings on these gorgeous pizzas. I counted over 10 large pizza trays, each having at least 2 or 3 different flavors of pizza. Toppings ranging from sardines to potatoes to cheese to leeks and a whole bunch of other stuff which we didn't quite understand. Nevertheless, it was a massive choice to choose from. So we selected 4 different flavors of pizzas, took them outside, grabbed a beer and a lemonata from the fridge to accompany these amazing delights. The first pizza was a delicious blend of sausage, pear, potato and cheese, and it was a revelation actually. The sweetness of the pear complemented the savouriness of the sausage and the potato, all held together by this divine melting cheese. It was delicious. It was pretty interesting stuff. The second pizza was a combination of leeks, potatoes and Gorgonzola. And that was a bold statement. I love Gorgonzola. If you're a listener to the show, you'll know that I'm an artisan cheesemaker from time to time. I love making a variation on the Stilton. Blue cheese is my favourite, but this Gorgonzola was delicious. The sharpness of this Gorgonzola cut through the earthiness of the potatoes and the leeks, and it was a rich, decadent experience, and it was definitely a comforting bite. Really enjoyed that. The third pizza, now this is really interesting. It was simple yet a sublime combination of toppings. It had mozzarella, egg, scrambled eggs, really unusual on a pizza, onion and potato, and it offered a taste that reminded me of my Sunday morning brunches back home. I love a good scrambled egg, and I can honestly say I've never had scrambled egg on a pizza before. It was absolutely delicious. The last pizza, this was interesting, probably our least favorite, to be honest. It was a breadcrumbed fried meat, spinach and potato pizza with cheese. It was pretty interesting. The spinach, I think, was marinated in something which wasn't overly agreeable to me, but it was a really interesting taste sensation. Quite a departure from the other, perhaps more luxurious flavors. This flavor of this pizza was probably a bit more challenging. One of the revelations, though, about eating these 4 pizzas and this style of pizza by the slice is the crust. The crust on all of these pizzas was airy and a sense of chewiness, but the thing that really sparked it off was its crunchiness. The layer of crunch on the bottom of these pizzas wasn't very thick, but it had a gorgeous crunch, and unfortunately, you can't hear the crunch. Well, maybe fortunately, unfortunately, because I thought I was capturing that on audio for you tonight. Alas not, you don't get to hear me eat, thankfully. But the crunch was amazing. It was a beautiful bite into that crust. It really was delicious. And this is definitely something that I think can be done in my wood-fired oven at home. Now, at Bonci Pizzarium, they don't use wood-fired ovens. It's electric. And they cut the slice for you. It's already been cooked. They put it into the oven and they heat it up for you to take away. But this definitely lends itself well to the large aluminium pizza trays that I have at home, and this is definitely something I'm going to give a shot when I get back to Brisbane. It's been a pretty interesting night travelling from our apartment near the Coliseum to this neighbourhood 30 minutes away. A little frustrating not to capture all the audio for you, but nevertheless, it was a trip well worth taking. The experience definitely was a bit of an adventure on my taste buds, journeying through the innovative mouth-watering creations of Gabriele Bonci. From the intriguing blend of the sausage, pear and potato and cheese to the robust combination of the leeks, potatoes and gorgonzola, each pizza was definitely a testament to the pizzeria's commitment to quality and, well, absolutely creativity. It's clear to me that this pizzeria isn't just about pizza. It's about an experience that marries the simplicity of traditional ingredients and the complexity of modern culinary techniques, I think. For anyone looking to explore the boundaries of pizza, what is possible in Rome, visiting Bonci Pizzarium is an essential destination for you. If you're visiting Rome, I highly recommend a visit into this glorious neighbourhood, easily accessible on the metro, out to visit Bonci Pizzarium. If you found inspiration or reflection in today's episode from Rome, Italy, please share your wood-fired oven journey with me. Head to woodfiredoven.cooking and click the microphone icon at the bottom right of any page on the site to leave a voice message under 5 minutes sharing your story. And just like we heard from Michael today, your story has the potential to inspire our wood-fired oven community in an upcoming episode. Let's continue to share and grow together in this delicious, inspiring wood-fired oven adventure that we find ourselves in. Your voice is the most important ingredient. It really is. So from standing back outside the Coliseum, now about 20 feet behind me, in this amazing, chaotic, glorious city in Rome, stay safe, have fun, and go cook with fire.
Chiuso il gelatino.